Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the character of Zeth. Let us begin. Zeth is a mysterious and powerful being known as an aspect of death. He is a user of pure death essence, which puts him at the top of the scale in terms of power among shadow essence users and death essence as a whole. Zeth appears as a skeleton, though it is unclear if this is his true form. He alludes to being ancient and holds a locket on his waist and an unknown emblem of a bird on his right shoulder. As an aspect of death, Zeth has the ability to bind most, if not all, souls to death itself. However, he prefers to allow souls to undergo the trials, which are ancient and determine whether or not a soul is worthy of being resurrected. Zeth is able to bring any soul back from the dead, but he is not immortal. Zeth made an appearance at the Battle of Shades, where he raised Maron's own slain men against him. This demonstrates his formidable powers and his willingness to use them in battle. Overall, Zeth is a formidable and enigmatic figure with a deep understanding of death and the afterlife. So that's a basic overview of Zeth. As you can see, when we jump over towards the manga, Zeth is the actual courier of Andril throughout the trials of Void Edge of Existence and the Void manga as a whole. Zeth is appearing as a skeleton, and though he may be a skeleton, in a visage form, so to speak, he may just be appearing as a skeleton in that sense. Zeth at the end of the game, and also the story as a whole, admits that he is an aspect of death. Now when we jump into essences of the previous videos, when it comes towards the magic system, death essence is one of the celestial essences. This doesn't make him a god, it just makes him incredibly adept and powerful with the death essence as a whole. So for instance, taking negative time and re-establishing that somewhere else. For instance, if I had to put Andril and Zeth on a scale, Andril would be pretty much on the low scale of the actual side of the actual scale, and Zeth isn't even on the scale because he's that strong of a death essence user. However, at the beginning of the actual game, he's just merely suggesting that you can undertake the trials to get the retribution Andril seeks. Zeth is also the creator of Zorbros, the avatar of a Zethic, a construct of pure death essence, and has reminiscent qualities of old ancient armor to go along with that. This could be actually in the image of when Zeth's timeline was, and he has merely used that as to reflect his old timeline from when he was living. Along with that, Zeth does have other capabilities when it comes towards his death essence powers as a whole. He has the ability to resurrect literal armies of people, along with being able to resurrect pretty much anyone he chooses. And he has the subcategories of shadow and void essence, as he is an aspect of death, and those are subcategories of death essence. He is able to contort, manipulate and construct anything he so wishes with his powers, and the only thing that he cannot create when he is a death essence user is anything life-based. Zeth also was the orchestrator of the Battle of Shades. This is where Maron, Winterseed, also known as Osberoth, one of the third bosses within the game, actually came into contact and tried to overpower Zeth. This is where Zeth literally wiped out the entire of his men and raised them into undeath to slaughter the rest of them, and to ultimately defeat Maron, in which Zeth cut out his own eyes and then dragged him into the void itself to manipulate, contort and corrupt his own mind, creating Osberoth the Unforgiven. Overall, Zeth isn't actually a boss in the actual game as a whole, he's merely an NPC. However, he does have a lot of history behind him, which I would love to flesh out in the future. However, I don't want that to interfere with the manga too much. Along with that, that is a brief overview of the character of Zeth, the avatar, the aspect of death. Have an awesome rest of the day, and you can find the manga on the website at dalagggstudios.com. Take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.